Hey y'all, welcome to the garage. I just have a really quick video for you on the Ducati Scrambler. And the question I've seen a lot on the internet, and people have all kinds of arguments as to its merits or its if it's any good at all, is muffler wrapping. You know, where you wrap your headers with fiberglass or some other maybe titanium weave around them. Some people say you get more power, some people say it silences it a little bit, and some people do it for heat resistance. Well, that's what I'm going to talk about today, and I'm going to show you what I've done on my Ducati. Okay, here she is. This is my 2016 Ducati Scrambler, modified in many ways. You can see my other videos for that. In fact, just recently I put on a different rear fender. Some people might not like that. It doesn't have the bobbed end. But I'm going for the adventure bike, and got my tail license plate mounted on there. And the reason I did that is just simply to stop the mud from flying on my back, because you got that really cute bobbed end. Yeah, and your whole back gets covered with mud and water and everything else. So it looks cool, but it's not very functional. So what I'm going to talk about today is this muffler wrap, fiberglass muffler wrapping. You can see, if you look close, that I've wrapped the headers. Now, what was my motivation for this? Of course, I watched a lot of videos on it, but my number one motivation was to cut down the heat that I get, because this is an air-cooled bike, and when you're sitting on it, especially in the summertime, or right now in the springtime, it's kind of a warm day, you're sitting on it in traffic or on a trail, and so much heat comes off of those pipes. So what I can say, and I'm just making it quick, is yes, they work. They really help the pipe. I mean, I just got off the bike. It's very hot, and look, I can touch the muffler. Now, of course, if I held it on there, I'd get burned. But if it wasn't wrapped and I touched my riding pants to it, it would melt a hole in them. That's how hot it gets. You can see I've got my custom engine guard there, and that helps keep your leg away from it a little bit, or if it falls over, of course, protects the pipes. But I will say, I don't know about the power, if it gives me any more power. I haven't noticed any difference. But just wrapping it all the way basically to where the muffler starts there has made such a big difference, especially sitting in traffic and stuff. I would say definitely do it. It's worth it. It maybe cuts down noise a little bit, but definitely the heat. If nothing else, just for the heat. And you can see lots of videos on how to wrap that. I didn't even wrap it very good. And you can see I was doing a little off-roading, and I actually tore some of it right here when I went over a bump. So you can see my skid plate is not your normal skid plate. It is the stock one, but you can see how it's mounted here. Actually, on both sides, you can see down in there where it's mounted, and in the back it's got a rubber insert underneath it so that it won't smash that oil filter. But yeah, so, and I wrapped it, some people just wrap them all the way around, but I wrapped it down to a point where if I need to take this off, and you have to change the oil, that it's wrapped separately here and here, so those headers will come off of there, and you can get to your oil filter and your oil screen place there that comes out. And yeah, so I've been trying it out, and I'm pretty impressed. It takes a few days for them to stop smoking and making strange smells. And also they recommend that you get some of this high heat paint for it, the silicone paint. Where is that stuff? Yeah, here it is. This is the silicone high temp spray. I put a little X over it. That's mostly so that people don't use it for just painting anything. This is expensive stuff, but it helps waterproof these, so it keeps them looking black, of course, but also keeps water from soaking in there and just laying on your pipe and corroding it. So I definitely recommend get some of this too. You can pick it up on Amazon. That's where I actually got the wrapping. And they do give you plenty of wrap in those kits. They're not very expensive, and you can use that and even have some left over. Okay, so that was just a quickie video for today. Just continue on this evolution of helping to convert my Ducati Scrambler more into an adventure bike, off-road. Of course, it does fine around town, but with those big knobby tires, it's not really the best on the highway. So I have to be real careful riding it so they don't slide out, and it'll lose traction real easily. But for off-road, it goes like a tractor with that big knob in the back there, and with that lowing grunt that it has. Don't need to change the gearing, anything. It's got plenty of power with that 75 horsepower to either do 200 kilometers an hour or to cruise along at 5 miles an hour going up and down hills. So yeah, just that last thing of the muffler wrap, and I would say definitely it's worth it. It's cheap to do. You do it yourself. Get some of those stainless steel zip ties, put those on there. Definitely worth it. Okay, be blessed. Have a great day. Subscribe if you like. Hit the like if this recommendation helped you at all. I definitely do recommend wrapping those pipes. I wasn't for it at first because I don't know, I like the look of the pipes. And this is good looking pipes. I think they're made of stainless steel. But actually I'm getting used to the look of the wrapping. And just, if nothing else, for that heat resistance and the comfort of driving, it's worth it. Okay, see ya.